So the first question, what do you think about the SaaS market for Indonesia right now? You can take into account with the COVID and everything.
Hi, Brandon. Hi, Daniel. So next question. What are your KPIs, key performance indicators, for measuring the customer's experience, and how have those numbers been trending over the past 6 months, especially starting from the COVID situation, the pandemic? Let's start with Brandon.
Yeah. So I'm gonna sort of modify the question a little bit. I'm just gonna talk about KPIs. And the thing is, and I'll also answer your question. So one of the most important metrics, or the most important metric in SaaS, is your lead velocity rate. And I think like if you research a lot, that basically boils down to everything. That means that how many leads are you getting in every month, and is that rate of leads coming in increasing or decreasing, or just staying stagnant for that matter. And so every SaaS founder needs to think about, well, how do I increase that lead? Because I'm assuming a lot of people on this call are sort of wanting to or thinking about doing SaaS. Is how do I increase that lead velocity rate? And so in Qontak, we think about this all the time in terms of, and a founder, some people say that founders should spend 80% of their time thinking about sort of new avenues of growth, marketing, etc. But our lead velocity rate over the last 6 months has improved drastically. And we've probably tripled our lead velocity rate. So, you know, like last year, we might have had like 50 to 100 leads a month. But this year, I mean, right now, we probably get around 400 to 500 a month. And qualified leads that are interested in our product. Now, so I think definitely this is a trend of COVID, but it also depends on sort of how mission critical. You want to build products that are mission critical, and yeah, in terms of customer retention, we do have some sort of metric internally, and we noticed that there's something what you call like a frequency, what we coin like a frequency score. So that means like if someone's opening your application up, 1 time or 2 times a day, that's not good, like. But sometimes there are SaaS tools out there that, like they open up once every 3 days or once every 4 days. You want someone to be using your features, like multiple times during the day, at least like 10 times during the day, or it's like a critical component of their lives. So what we do is we start to, like, for each different metrics, are they using like our contacts module? Are they onboarded chat? Are they using the dashboard? Are they using the tasks function to start to measure like whether salespeople are doing their meetings? And if they're doing all of that, then the score of that client goes up. And what that means is that that's a healthy client right there, and your lifetime value for that client is going to be very, very high. So just by making a few adjustments, calling the client up and teaching them, or sending them a YouTube video for that matter, of how to set up their dashboard, you can increase that client's lifetime value by 6 months or a year, because you reduce your churn rate. So those are some key metrics and that we look at. Is one is your lead velocity rate, and 2 is your client health, based on like a frequency type of score, and anyone can come up with their own. Some people look at what you call like an NPS score, which is the rate at which, or like sort of a score of whether your customers are willing to refer you to others. Yeah.
So, do you yourself have like some sort of a dashboard to monitor all that KPIs, or
yeah,
or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we also create dashboards too. so we sell dashboards. So it would be funny if we didn't use a dashboard. But I sort of monitor all of our leads coming in. I also monitor how many deals are in our pipeline, and we need to do a better job in terms of KPIs. Sometimes if you're pre-revenue, you don't want to start to measure revenues if you're pre-revenue, right? But you can still measure things like, well, how many meetings have we done, and that we learned something, and then you can start to measure that. It's like, oh, we did 5 meetings today and we learned this. So and over time your KPIs can also change. Yeah.
And how do you know like the usage of your customers? You said they use it more often, and do you?
No.
Do you?
We have different things, like if they're using, yes or no. Are they adding in context? Are they using tasks? Are they connected to the WhatsApp API? Are they using the dashboard? If they get a yes, then that means that they've earned 4 points, right? So then we have a score out of 10, and we want that score to be over 5, And what we noticed, and this is not just us, this is also HubSpot for that matter, is that if you get someone on a typical CRM using 4 features or more, then your LTV is going to increase significantly. If they're using 6 features or more, then like they're stuck with you. Like it means that they they like your product. And we'll also even give a score for like if they integrate in to a landing page. So like let's just say they integrated their website into our, then we'll give them a score. Because once they're integrated in, it's sort of like they're getting you just got to engage with them, But when the more if you integrate into their ERP software, then you're married with them. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Oh, and then about the numbers. So you're saying it's increasing this past months.
Yeah.
I see. Does it have anything to do with the work from home?
There's some components of that, but it also has to do with the fact that we were last year appointed. It has to do with three factors. One is that we were appointed as a partner of WhatsApp, and so like in the past, everyone uses email, right? I mean, in the US, everyone uses email to communicate. In Indonesia, people don't like email here, so chat, like your WhatsApp actually, 99% of all businesses use WhatsApp. Like every single business uses WhatsApp. Even if it's not for like they'll use it in some way, shape, or form for communication with their teams or whatever. So like WhatsApp is like Slack, plus it's like email, plus it's like everything. So once we integrated WhatsApp in, it basically sort of really made things very mission critical. That's why I mentioned mission critical before. And the other factor,
it's adding a lot of value to Qontak, right?
Yeah, because let's just say chat comes in from WhatsApp, then it automatically creates a deal, it automatically creates a ticket, it automatically creates a contact, it automatically creates a conversation. So the agent doesn't need to do anything. The agent just sits there, right? And then if the payment comes in from the website, then the system detects that payment, and the deal or the order is automatically closed. So now all of a sudden, like there's a lot of, every single business owner will talk about HR issues in Indonesia, and so now you can sort of, you don't have to be as reliant on your people and how rajin they are to like sort of, like do this and do that and follow SOPs.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Brandon. And how about you, Daniel?
Yeah, that's good stuff, Brandon. I'm actually sending our head of marketing the lead velocity rate metric. Really interesting. So for us, I'm going to focus a little bit more here on the retention, as that's what you guys wanted us to talk about a little bit more. And we actually look at one of our North Star metrics is net revenue retention rate. Because as you will see over and over in SaaS companies, most of your growth, I think Brandon mentioned after year 3, etc., it's going to be on the backs of existing customers that will continue to expand with you, right? And for us, we've seen this consistently over 100%. So just a brief technical thing here. NRR essentially takes into account your existing customers' recurring revenue, right? You add expansion to that through upsell, cross-sell, etc., and you subtract any downgrades, any churn, right? So if the number is 100%, you can have churn, but that means the expansion actually took care of that churn, right? So for us, from January to March, it was just really growing a lot, right? And then we saw this dip in April. It's a 1-month dip, and then it went back up in May, in June. Not yet at the March level, but we're getting there. So that's one of the things that we definitely are very meticulous about NRR. Second thing we look at is MAU, monthly active user, right? So in terms of monthly active users, we've seen the past 6 months here, it looks like a V, essentially. So at the beginning of March, you start seeing this drop off, right? And then around May, it starts going up again. And I think we're probably about 75, 80% and where we were at our highest point there in terms of MAU. What's interesting about that, though, we also look at engagement time, right? How long do they use our platform per day? And during this trough, right, during this trough, believe it or not, actually the engagement time went up. Because what this tells us is that those that have stayed, those that are great customers or clients, they doubled down on using us, right? So that's the other thing that we looked at. And now Brandon mentioned NPS, and again, a little technical parentheses here. NPS, basically you look at the percentage of those that are gonna say, hey, we want to promote you, and then you subtract the percentage of those that says, hey, we're gonna tell people not to use you, right? So the passive people in the middle that are not gonna say anything, you don't count them. Now, for us, and just give you a little bit of benchmark too, right? The SaaS average for NPS is 26. Okay. Now, to give you a little bit more context, Adobe is at 25, Dropbox at 32, MailChimp's at 50. Right? We're somewhere in the middle there. The good news is we have no detractors on our side in terms of the NPS side. And just to finalize, I want to circle back to what Brandon mentioned with regards to the scoring on the frequency side. Because we're a different type of product, first thing we did was figure out, in our case, it's not how many of our features do you use. That's not our core metric that we track, as much as what's the report completion within the first month? What should it be? So during this COVID period, it's given us a lot of time to really go through our data, and we start realizing, hey, the best of the best, they're at this percentage by month 1, they're at this percentage by month 2. So then the task for product and tech teams and CS teams is to make sure that each new client, they hit this level on month 1 and this level on month 2, right? And obviously, because you should be using your own product, right? When we onboard our clients, we actually use Nimbly. We use a checklist, right, to make sure we go through the things that we need to cover, manage expectations, roles and responsibilities, timeline, what are the objectives, et cetera, et cetera. And then it would automatically issue out the summary report, right, at the end. So that's one way that we use our own product to improve retention.
Okay.
I think I want to add something.
Oh.
So I think it's interesting that both of you are saying that one is retention, like it's really about retention, and I think that the biggest component of that is customer success. Sometimes startups focus on selling, but they forgot to build a customer success team, which, to make sure that, okay, are you happy? Which feature don't you understand, and can we help you better use the product? I think that's the most important thing in SaaS company to have that customer success team.
Definitely. And in fact, I would venture to say that for our next milestone, which we should reach by Q2 of next year, 60% of that growth will come from existing clients, not new clients.
Yeah. That's amazing. Okay, next question. What are the challenges in building a SaaS business, and how do you overcome those? Let's start with Daniel first.